Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Talk of the Town podcast. If you have not already, make sure to hit that subscribe button as we're now on the road to 300 subscribers here on the YouTube channel. If you guys love sports news, sports betting, special segments, daily uploads, updated rankings every single week, my reactions, anything at all, it's all right here on the Talk of the Town podcast. So I promise you, your subscription will be well worth it and much, much appreciated. And speaking of special segments here today, we have Why Not Wednesday, where I answer not even just sports questions, any questions you guys have for me at all. It does not matter what it is. And I answer them right here on the pod every Wednesday. If you want your questions answered right here on the podcast as well, make sure to hit at @talkofthetown_pod on Instagram, TikTok, even right here in the YouTube comments as well, if you'd like. And you can have your questions answered right here every single Wednesday. So let's get right into it here today. But first, one thing I want to mention is obviously, if this is your first video watching, if you're not new here, you notice I shaved my face. It just kind of drives me crazy because I'm not necessarily the most self-conscious person. I mean, I am. Everyone is. I definitely, care about how I look. But at the same time, like, I did not want to shave my face this much. This is just a complete shave. Like, there's almost nothing here, just very little hair. And yesterday, I'm just going to trim it down a little bit. I like keeping clean shaven. Let me just say that. And I was just getting a little bit crazy. And twice, I just go and drop my razor in the middle of shaving my mustache and my beard to make it 100 times worse. And there's just this full patch of just no hair, like right here and right here. I'm just like, you know what, whatever. It's just it's all coming off. I'm never gonna make this work. And I did not want to shave my beard off and my mustache off this much. So I just kind of wanted to share that because I can't hold a damn razor for more than 10 seconds without dropping it. I mean, and here's the thing with razors is that, like, they're crazy expensive. So I'm sitting there about to break my razor and I have to spend $80 on a fucking another one. And I don't know. And it makes it looks like now I went from being almost 22 years old to 12 years old again. I don't know. It's just, you can't tell, it's just driving me nuts this morning. So let's just get into the first question of the video here today, which is, hey man, loving the pod. I have a question for it, actually. After hearing Richard Sherman talk about how Russell Wilson has played his way out of the Hall of Fame, it made me think, has he really done it? I want to hear your thoughts. Well, the thing is with Russell Wilson and Richard Sherman is that it's no secret that those two have bad blood of some sort. I don't necessarily know exactly what happened. I know Richard Sherman's kind of talked about it a couple of times. I think it kind of feels like more like Russell Wilson kind of wanted a lot of the credit for a lot of the success they had in Seattle. A little bit of a tongue twister there. But Richard Sherman thinks a majority of it, if not all of it, was a Legion of Boom. And he's not been afraid to say that at all. He said that plenty of times. He said a majority, if not all of Seattle's success came from the Legion of Boom. And obviously Russell Wilson thinks another way. Russell Wilson kind of, honestly, in Seattle, a lot of his teammates did not like him. There was no secret of that. A lot of the players have come out, especially after they retired and stuff like that, and not made it a secret that they really did not like Russell Wilson on Seattle. Kind of just had like, hey, this is all about me kind of attitude. And I think that's where it's kind of rubbed off on Richard Sherman as well. And Russell Wilson, again, I kind of had that all about me, like, this is because of me right here. And a lot of his teammates did not like that about him at all. So I think some of that is from bad blood. I think we can all agree that these last 4 or 5 years or so of Russell Wilson have been pretty hard to watch. But in terms of playing himself out of the Hall of Fame, I don't think he's played himself out of it. For one, I even think regardless, Russell Wilson was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. If he won if he did end up winning that Super Bowl against New England, obviously the Super Bowl with the Malcolm Butler interception about 10 years ago or so, I think he would arguably have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. 2 Super Bowls, pretty much. He really was pretty dominant in the 2010s in terms of play and just winning in Seattle there for a while. I mean, in terms of consistently making the playoffs, Seattle was very good at that for a long time. Them and Pete Carroll and the Legion of Boom. But in Richard Sherman's credit, once the Legion of Boom got older, and obviously they all kind of went their own separate ways from Seattle, retired or went to another team or whatever, they never went back to a Super Bowl again, and Seattle's success kind of just dwindled down, to be honest with you. So I do see Richard Sherman's point there in terms of a lot of the success came from the Legion of Boom, but I do think Russell Wilson had a hand to play in it as well. I mean, you just watch him. He was one of the more just electric dual threat quarterbacks. He's one of the best deep ball throwers ever in the history of the NFL. That deep ball he throws is pretty iconic, to be honest with you. Even still, like Russell Wilson is not really good at anything else, but he can still throw that deep ball pretty well. I mean, a couple of weeks ago against the Cowboys, before he got benched, he had about 500 yards passing, and a lot of it came from throwing that deep ball to Malik Neighbors. So he still has that in his arsenal. Maybe not quite as good as he once used to have it. Of course, everything he's done has just dwindled down. For when he's getting older, was he like 36 or 37 years old now? Um, so I don't think Russell Wilson has played his way out of the Hall of Fame. I think he's been grouped in that group of guys, even though his play style is different than Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan. Like, they're all kind of grouped in the same thing, and they're all strictly pocket passers. And besides Eli Manning, like Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan did end up going to the Super Bowl and winning an MVP, but they didn't really win anything else. Besides, obviously, Eli Manning did end up winning 2 Super Bowls, but people don't quite group them in the category of quarterbacks of like Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Brett Favre. It's those guys, and then it's like Matt Ryan and Eli Manning. And some people are very torn on the Eli Manning debate, but I think the majority definitely thinks like he's kind of in that second tier of quarterback group who's like, they're going to get Hall of Fame votes, but are they going to get? I think Eli Manning's going to get in the Hall of Fame. Matt Ryan and Phillip Rivers are kind of iffy, especially with one thing I'm probably going to talk about tomorrow on my podcast is how jammed the Hall of Fame is about to get in terms of talent. Like, they're going to have to up the amount of players that could be eligible to get into the Hall of Fame, because there is about to be a massive jam. I mean, you got Fitzgerald, Breeze, Brady, like Roethlisberger. There's guys that have been waiting for years that should be in that are now going to have to wait even longer. And hell, some of them are old, like really old. They may never even see themselves get in the Hall of Fame. So I think they have to up the number, whether or not it's by a player or two. I think they should up it like 2 more players to prevent that jam players getting into the Hall of Fame, because there is a lot of just really slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famers. And that's where I think Russell Wilson, will he get in one day? I think eventually he'll get in. I just think his problem is like the last 5 years or so, which has seemed longer than it really has. Like, it has kind of tainted the way people look at Russell Wilson. But I think when the dust has settled and he's been retired for a long time, because he's not going to get in his first ballot. Like, again, like I mentioned, you see these guys who are in line and these guys who are coming up to be in the Hall of Fame, who are retiring and are going to be there sooner than Russ. The line is very long. As I mentioned, even like Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning, like people have these guys ranked higher than Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson isn't far behind those guys. Some people have him ranked over it. I'd have to kind of go in depth and really think about it. To be honest with you, he does have a ring over Ryan and stuff like that. Never ended up winning an MVP. I don't think he was ever a first-team All-Pro either. I think he was a second-team All-Pro, because besides, I think Allen and Lamar, the last 2 years, all of the first-team All-Pros have been MVPs. And Russell Wilson, it's funny because I used to make the joke that Russell Wilson would be the slam dunk MVP for the first 9 weeks of the season, and then the other half he'd be like, "Damn, what happened to Russell Wilson in the MVP conversation?" So that would seem to happen to him every single year, just about. But I just want to make a quick comparison now that I'm thinking about it. Is I think a lot of people agree that Joe Flacco is not a Hall of Famer, and someone actually asked me a question about Joe Flacco. I'm going to answer here a little bit later. Speaking of him. But some people are like, is Joe Flacco a Hall of Famer? He does have that Super Bowl. He had some good years in Baltimore. Well, I'm like, if people are arguing that, and now people are saying Russell Wilson has played his way out of the Hall of Fame. Well, Russell Wilson also won a Super Bowl and is infinitely better than Joe Flacco was. I mean, Joe Flacco really, like, to his credit, though, I mean, even the years before he won the Super Bowl, he did get to like an NFC or a AFC championship his rookie year. Like, he did have some good years in Baltimore besides that Super Bowl year. Like, people kind of just want to pinpoint, like, that was really, he was only good in 2012, and that was it. I mean, that's not necessarily true. In fairness, like, he did have a really stacked defense as well. But hell, I'm a Patriots fan. Tom Brady had some great defenses. Like, I'm not going to hold someone who had a great defense and be like, well, they're just not good because their defense is so good. Like, that's not true at all. I mean, you kind of look at I know this is like on a way different scale, but like the Jets a few years ago had a great defense under Robert Saleh. That honestly, a team like that with their defense should have won like 12 games, but their quarterback play was so bad that they were still like 7-win team at best. So that goes to show you have to be a good quarterback even with a good defense to make things happen. So Joe Flacco, though, in terms of statistics for his career, you know, people argue about Joe Flacco being in the Hall of Fame. That is a legitimate argument. People still do argue that. And I'm like, if we're going to talk about Russell Wilson playing his way out of the Hall of Fame, listen to the last, let's go since, hell, you can't even go since 2018 with Flacco. Yeah, let's go 2018 was Flacco's last year in Baltimore. He had 12 touchdowns and 6 picks. Remember, he got hurt, and that was the year Lamar ended up coming in. Then he went to Denver, 6 touchdowns, 5 picks. 2020, 6 touchdowns, 3 picks with the Jets. Then he was with the Jets for 21 and 22, 3 touchdowns and no picks in 21, 22, 5 touchdowns to 3 picks. Then in 23, that was the year he came off the couch to Cleveland, threw 13 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. 24 was the backup in Indy to Anthony Richardson last year, 12 touchdowns to 7 picks. Ended up getting benched for Anthony Richardson. And then this year, 2 touchdowns to 6 picks. Like, honestly, that is a prolonged stretch of like 7 years now of nowhere close to Hall of Fame numbers. Like, not even close. The most touchdowns he's had in a season in the last 7 years is 13. So, and that was the year he came off the couch with Cleveland. So I'm not seeing it. I'm not, you know, if we're going to sit here and make the argument for Joe Flacco, we're going to talk about Russell Wilson playing his way out of the Hall of Fame. Listen to Russell Wilson's stats. The last, let's say, hell, let's go since 2019 as well. We're going to start him off with the same, 2018. 35 touchdowns and 7 picks in 2018. 2019, 31-5. 2020, 40-13. 2021, 4 years ago, 25-6 in terms of a touchdown to interception ratio. 2022 with Denver, 16-11. That was the year he got traded to Denver, and that was a debacle. But even the next year, 2 years ago, in 2023, 26 touchdowns to 8 interceptions with over 3,000 yards. Even the year in 2022, he had 3,500 yards with that 16-11 touchdown to interception ratio. 2024 with Pittsburgh last year, he didn't even play the full season. He missed like the first 4 weeks. 16 touchdowns to 5 picks, and then this year, 3-3 with the Giants, and obviously he got benched. But you know, when the dust settles and you look back at the stats, which is what people do, well, with former players after they've retired for a long time, even though Russell Wilson's kind of different because we've never seen a player fall off so fast. Because as I mentioned, man, I mean, he went from 25 touchdowns to 6 interceptions to 16-10 the next year. Even 2 years prior, 40 touchdowns. But Russell Wilson has not played his way out of the Hall of Fame. You even just look at the stats. That's what I mentioned is like people are going to look back and be like, you know what? You look at it, he was not that bad. Although I do watch Russell Wilson, he's been a shell of himself for a while. Even with those stats, like he just did not play like himself, but he was not horrible. I mean, clearly he was not just awful. Like if you're going to make the argument for Flacco, like you compare their stats throughout the last 7 years to Russell Wilson's stats, it's not even on the same stratosphere. So if you're going to argue for Joe Flacco, then Wilson should be a first ballot Hall of Famer then. So no, he has not played his way out of the Hall of Fame. That's a great question, but to me, he hasn't. I think now it looks ugly because he just got benched a few weeks ago. He's been to like a million different teams now the last couple of years now with Pittsburgh and Denver and the Giants. So he'll be fine. Once the dust settles, a few years after his career, people are like, damn, Russ was the man for a long time. He was the man for a long time. So, yeah, I think he'll be fine. He's just in a bad spot right now. Next question here is, first video I seen on your podcast was you being completely wrong about the 49ers. I'm assuming this was a couple days ago. Being completely wrong about the 49ers. And guess what? And guess what they did? They went into SoFi and kicked ass. The first thing I did was come back to your pod and you still shit on the Niners. Why do you hate us so much? What's your deal? I can promise you this right now. I do not have any sort of hatred for the 49ers. None at all. If I did have any hatred towards the 49ers, it would be because I was a Rams fan or just even a fan in the NFC in general. I've been a lifelong Patriots fan, so the 49ers have really had nothing to do with any of the success of the Patriots or the last couple of years when they've been extremely unsuccessful. Necessarily kicking them out of the playoffs or whatever, winning like the 49ers have nothing, like there's no element for me to hate the San Francisco 49ers at all. I guess the only way like they kind of piss me off is that if they played each other last year and, if they sucked last year, so them losing to the 49ers didn't matter anyway, but if they were to play each other in like week 15, 16, 17, like whatever it is, and the 49ers were to knock them out of the playoffs, I'd be pissed. But I wouldn't change my takes based off of that either. I wouldn't sit there and be like, dude, I hate the 49ers. They're not going to win this, win that. Like, no, like I'm brutally honest, no matter how much I like or dislike a team. And, honestly, I don't really dislike any team in the NFL. I don't dislike any team. I keep every team to the same standard. I'm not biased with any of my takes at all. I talk very highly of the Patriots because I'm a fan of them, but I'm also very real. Like the Patriots the last few years, they've been absolutely atrocious. Even when they were bad, I was like, bro, this team, like you guys need to get rid of Mayo, this and that. Like I'm not biased towards anything. Especially I do not have any hatred towards the 49ers at all. But I did stick by my take that I had on when I posted that video on Thursday. Then I had the slips for Sundays and I reacted to that game from Thursday. So if you're not familiar, if it's your first video on the channel or you didn't end up watching the video on Thursday when I ended up making the prediction about the 49ers and Rams game. And I think a lot of it is that in my thumbnail I said the 49ers are done. And I mean, in fairness, like I did stick by my take as on Friday because the Niners, like as injury plagued as they are, I think we can all agree, like we all had every expectation for the 49ers to come in and kind of lose that game. I didn't expect an ass kick and anything like that. And I did say that if there was any game for the 49ers to play in, to have your entire roster injured like that, your offense more than anything injured like that, you're missing pretty much, I think you're missing every single one of your starting receivers besides Kendrick Bourne and George Kittle. I mean, in your starting quarterback, if there was any time for that to happen, the time would be to be playing against a divisional opponent within the Rams. Sorry, I got all tongue-tied there for a sec. And again, that part worked out. They benefited from playing the Rams, a divisional opponent. Like that was good for them. And I gave them a lot of credit. I think it was especially too yesterday when I was ranking my teams as well. Like what they're doing right now, the 49ers are doing is nothing short of incredible, to be completely honest with you. Those players they have, like you look on the Baltimore Ravens right now, and they could have around the same injury excuse, to be honest with you. I mean, I think the 49ers one is probably worse, to be honest with you. And they're out there pulling games out, just miracles after miracles with that team. And the Ravens play the Rams this week as well, and their staff is still really injured. So the 49ers have every excuse in the rule book to be like, hey, if they were to lose games, be like, dude, none of our players are playing. Our entire receiving crew is out, this and that. They can honestly just put their head down and just give up. That's be hard not to do. I mean, you're missing your starting quarterback, your starting receivers, your tight end, Hall of Fame caliber tight end. I mean, everywhere you look, the 49ers have every excuse in the book to just kind of be like, damn, man, almost throwing in the towel here. Like, we had no chance. But they're not doing that. Kyle Shanahan is pulling off some of the best coaching jobs of his career. I mean, I think this is the best he's ever coached right now. I mean, this is nothing short of incredible what he's doing. Who do they play against this week? I think they play against Tampa. If they can go and beat Tampa with this squad, I do have to look at who's coming back. I don't know if Pearsall's coming back. I don't know if Purdy's coming back. I am going to have to look at the injury report. I'm going to look at it after this video, actually, and check it out. But if it's around the same thing they had against the Rams, man, and they pull off a win against Tampa, who was top 5 in a lot of people's rankings. Some people even have him number 2. That would be just a hell of an accomplishment. Again, from Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers. So again, I have no hatred. I think what they're doing is nothing short of incredible. They are pulling off miracles there in San Francisco, and I give them a just mounds of credit for what they're doing. Like 49ers fans, you guys should be through the moon right now with how your team's playing. I give you guys all the credit in the world. I mean, I can't imagine. I think if you put that roster in any other organization right now, you put them in Tennessee, they'd get their ass kicked against the Los Angeles Rams on Thursday. It's because you don't have the personnel the 49ers do. Maybe not necessarily the medical personnel the 49ers do, because I think we can all agree there is something very weird going on in the San Francisco building with the medical personnel and all these players constantly getting hurt. I don't know if it's how they practice. I do not know, but something is not normal in the way these players get injured in San Francisco. There's injuries, and then there's San Francisco injuries. But yeah, and I tell you something, I definitely do not. I don't hate any team. I definitely don't hate the 49ers, and I give you guys a ton of credit for what you're doing down there in San Fran, man. You guys are pulling off some crazy wins. As I mentioned, you guys have every excuse in the book to just kind of throw in the towel and be like, there's no chance we're going to win this shit here on Sunday against Tampa, the Rams, whatever. And you guys are the second seed in the NFC right now still. And players are coming back. At least they should be. But, yeah, man, nothing short of incredible there with the 49ers. Next question is, hey, man, I seen you on my TikTok and clicked on your YouTube and seen you do a question segment, which I think is awesome. Seeing you do a podcast and you look young, I just want to ask if it's okay to ask how old you are and why you started a podcast. Of course it's okay. I have absolutely no issues with that at all. Trust me, I'm going to tell you guys something. You guys can ask me anything at all. I am about the least sensitive person when it comes to questions at all. I just genuinely do not really care anything like that. Obviously, you guys know the stuff I cannot answer and on here, and that I would not answer anyway. But I don't care. You guys can sit there and say, Matt, you're about the ugliest person I've ever seen. I do not care what you guys ask me or tell me stuff like that at all. Trust me, it does not bother me. For what I'm 21 right now. I turned 22 in 2 months, December 12th. So what is it, October 8th right now? So in about 2 months, I'll be 22 years old, even though you couldn't tell right now with this damn shaved face. Of course, I had to answer this question when my face is shaved. I look like I'm about 14 right now. Just driving me nuts. But I started a podcast as well because, one, it's always been my dream to be a sports commentator, sports announcer, just talk sports in general. There was a few years ago, I went to the Bowie Bay Sox Stadium here in Maryland. It's the minor league team for the Baltimore Orioles. I was up in the announcing booth and stuff like that for a little while. And that was pretty cool there. And that was one of those experiences I just had. And I was like, dude, I really want to do this for a living. I was up there with the guys. They're sitting up there announcing the games. We're all up there getting free food. They have their own private food stand with tacos and this and that, and the chefs up there giving you the food. We're talking the minor league baseball team. We're not even talking the Orioles. I can't imagine what it's like for a professional organization. And I was just like, yeah, man, I want to start something with sports. This is my passion. I was just sitting here talking, and it's I watch every NFL game. I love the NBA, man. I just love sports. This is something I'm passionate about talking. I can genuinely get myself to glue myself to my seat and talk about for hours and watch. Something I just will not get bored of ever doing. And I think that's a pretty special thing. And that's the thing I tell a lot of people in life is find something you're passionate about. It's you may always, you may end up finding something you do not like doing, but if you can find anything you are passionate about, chase that as much as you can, because you can make it into anything you want, and you'll find a way to make it into anything you want. I wouldn't sit here if it was, I'm trying to think of an example, like painting. I honestly, or I do paint with my girlfriend sometimes. We sit there, sometimes we paint pictures and stuff like that, but you can ask anyone, you can ask her. I am not an artist at all. I could not get myself and sit down and draw a picture every single day and for an hour here and upload it for you guys. And paint pictures. I just could not do that. Honestly, I'd kind of find a way to get out of it. This, I would never find a way to get out of this. I glue myself to this seat every single morning and record for you guys every single weekday. Even with college, I have college here in a few hours as well. What Mondays or no, it's what's today? Wednesday. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have class at 8 a.m. I have college. You know what I do? The second it ends, I get on here and record right away. I just take the Zoom classes for now. I took a break from college for a few years, decided to come back, and while I'm doing the podcast, I figured it'd be more convenient for me to do online and just go on right here. I'm also studying for my stockbroker's exam as well, so I'm doing like a shit ton of things all at one time right now. So it's a lot, but I love it, man. And I I can tell you, out of everything I'm doing right now, this is the most thing I'm passionate about, is this sports podcast. There's no secret. Yeah, I even told my dad, because my dad runs his own like stockbroking business, stuff like that. And he's very successful at it, very good at what he does. Like he's pretty renowned around here for what he does. And you know, he even he knows, like, this is the main thing I want to do right now. There's no doubt about it, man. The amount of effort and stuff I put into this, I absolutely love it. And that's one of the things that made that's one of the main things that I wanted to start a sports podcast is because I love sports. Like I mentioned, I just could sit here, glue myself down to the seat for hours, watch highlights of NFL games, I do it every single Sunday. Like if you can find yourself to sit down and do something for the entire day and enjoy it and love it every single week for like 17 plus weeks, including the playoffs, it's pretty special. That's something you should chase. So, you know, depending on how young you are or anyone out there who's watching this, you're like, damn, I kind of want to, I'd like to start some of my own sports and stuff like that, man. It is absolutely worth it. I mentioned I was up there in the announcing booth at the Bowie State Bay Sox Stadium for a while. And, dude, how fun was that? I mean, I'm just trying to tell you, the private bathrooms up there. You have, like I said, like private chefs making you food. We're talking minor league stadium. So it's a lot of benefits that comes out of stuff, doing stuff like this, man. It's a lot of fun. And, it only gets better. I mean, just seeing the growth in general too is like, I just love talking to people. And like, I've had people just go in my inboxes, like on Instagram and even TikTok and stuff like that, like just asking me for advice and stuff like that. And I love doing that. One of the main things with me is, it kind of sometimes I drive my girlfriend crazy, stuff like that. I was like, I put other people before myself. Like I am just always looking to help other people. Like I love seeing other people smile more than myself, to be completely honest with you. So, and I've mentioned this podcast plenty of times, like if you guys need advice, anything like that at all, my inboxes are always open. I love helping people, whether or not, you guys want to start your own podcast, just anything like school. It does not matter. You can ask me anything. You're like, yo, Matt, I need to talk to you about this real quick or whatever. And you have any insight for me? I'd be more than happy, ecstatic for anyone to come in and feel like they can ask me that. So, yeah, man, the amount of support you guys show me and everything helps me fuel the fire for this podcast and just keep my dream going, man. So, appreciate it so much. And that's one of the main reasons why when I get started the podcast is I love sports, passionate about it. Up in the Bowie Bay Sox thing for a while up in the announcing booth just made me really want to get started. Like, dude, this is the sports world right here. Get treated like this. Like, this is some good shit right here. And, that was a lot of fun. So, yeah, man. Next question I have is Matt, you said I could ask any question on here, and I have one for you here. And it's going to be controversial to you and your viewers, but Taco Bell is garbage. The worst fast food place in history. The only thing worth eating is the nacho fries. I'll go over this pretty quickly, but I do like Taco Bell. One of the things with Taco Bell, at least a Taco Bell near me, is like I've had a couple friends in some instances get food poisoning from the Taco Bell near me, so like I kind of avoid it now, to be honest with you. Like avoid getting the dinner part. I think one of the most underrated things about Taco Bell, and I bet you probably most of you guys have not had this, because I've asked a lot of my friends, like, have you guys had this? Like, you guys got to try this as Taco Bell breakfast. If you have not had it, bro, I'm telling you, get the breakfast crunch wrap. To me, it is better than anything on the dinner, lunch menu, whatever for Taco Bell. Dude, that shit. Oh my God, it's just so good. And I do agree. Like the nacho fries are some of the best fries in the fast food industry. for any fast food, like better to me than Wendy's, McDonald's. To me, I like McDonald's fries, but people just praise that shit like it's God or something, dude. I do like McDonald's fries, but like people will just say undeniably the best fast food fry in the game. I'm like, I don't know, bro. To be honest with you, I mean, McDonald's fries are okay, but I don't know if I'd necessarily say they're by far and away the best fast food fry. I'm like, honestly, you ever had nacho fries? Try try a nacho fry. Compare the seasonings between McDonald's fries and a nacho fry, and come back to me, please. Of course, if your Taco Bell sucks and they put no seasoning on the nacho fries, and that's like absolutely not I can do about that. To shake your opinion, but um, I don't think Taco Bell's the worst. I'm trying to think of some of the worst. Like Wendy's is all right, to be honest with you. I just never find myself going out of my way to get Wendy's. I don't know. A lot of people love the chicken nuggets from Wendy's. To me, I don't know. I don't really like their chicken nuggets. I don't like the shake and bake kind of like chicken. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like I like the fried chicken. I don't like Wendy's has like that shake and bake stuff on it. I don't like that. I don't know. Kind of like freaks me out a little bit. I don't know how to explain it, but like Wendy's, I don't know. I never find myself going out of my way for that. I don't think it's bad. I think all fast food is like terrible for you. I mean, that's not even I think. It's like everyone knows it's terrible for you. The stuff they put in the food and everything is so bad. Um, there's no doubt about that. But I don't know. I think there's a lot worse than Taco Bell, to be honest with you. McDonald's to me is just trash. I don't know. The older I'm getting now, I just realized like McDonald's is just not good. The only thing I've gotten for I don't know, ever since like my senior year of high school, 4 years ago, is I just get a quarter pounder with cheese. I mean, I really honestly I don't get anything else from McDonald's. To be honest with you, I don't really like Burger King. I'm not gonna lie, like Burger King to me is just not good at all. Every once in a while, I'll be like, you know what, I kind of want to get some from Burger King, maybe. But I'd rather just, I don't know, cook some myself, to be honest with you. I do. I love cooking for one. I really dabble in some cooking now. I can tell you that. I do love cooking. So I try to avoid like Taco Bell and stuff like that as much as I can. So I don't think it's the worst, but I could understand like a lot of people say with Taco Bell, and the problem is with it is like a lot of their food is mush. Which I can agree sometimes. Like sometimes you get a burrito from Taco Bell and you look at the inside, it's like, what am I eating right now, bro? Like, I don't know, but um, at least you do acknowledge that the nacho fries are worth eating because nacho fries are gas. I'm gonna tell you that for a fact. I think a lot of people can. They keep taking them off and taking them off, and taking them on the menu. It drives me nuts. But I don't know. I don't think Taco Bell's the worst. I'd have to think more in depth about that. I'll probably answer you back in your inbox about more of the worst fast food. Next question here is just seen Joe Flacco get traded to the Bengals a few hours ago. Do you think the Bengals could string some games out with Flacco or no? Is he beyond washed? Well, I think Flacco for sure is better than Jake Browning. I don't know how much better because the problem is with Jake Browning is he just throws way too many picks. He can't move the ball consistently down the field. It's either Jake Browning is like a big, massive, like just crazy touchdown that could have also been picked at the same time, or it's just nothing at all. Like it's either boom or bust with Jake Browning. There's no in between. He's just not an NFL level starter. There's no doubt about it. And he just throws way too many interceptions, not consistent enough. Like he's just not a formula for a winning quarterback, to be honest with you. I kind of had that run a few years ago that he did pretty good, and people were legitimately questioning like Jake Browning or Joe Burrow. I was like, guys, please don't be ridiculous. And I think that conversation is so far out of the window now. I think Joe Flacco is going to be better than Jake Browning, but if Joe Flacco plays anything like he just did with Cleveland, he has a 2 touchdown to 6 interception ratio. I think the Bengals are still in trouble. I think Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and stuff are pretty ecstatic about it. Joe Flacco is just a gunslinger. The problem that worries me with that is like the Bengals offensive line is pretty bad. That's just something they have not been able to rebuild at all throughout the Joe Burrow era, and it's gotten them hurt a good bit. We haven't really got to see him. I mean, we know the potential of Joe Burrow, but he just can't string together a bunch of consistent seasons because he keeps getting hurt. That's just the one thing the Bengals have not been able to rebuild is that offensive line. And Joe Flacco is just a human statue in the pocket. I mean, he either gets the pass off or he gets sacked. I mean, you're not going to get any sorts of plays with Joe Flacco's legs or anything. So I know Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are pretty excited about it. I do think he'll be better than Jake Browning, just due off of his experience alone, and just because I think he's just a better quarterback alone. But Joe Flacco does also have a lot of turnover problems as well. He does turn the ball over a decent bit, uh, probably not as much as Jake Browning. I mean, here's the thing with Cleveland is like Cleveland's receiving crew and their offense is not very good at all. Like they have to do a full scale rebuild on that offense at Cleveland. I do like Jerry Jeudy, but and Njoku is one of the better tight ends in the league. But outside of that, they really just are not working with much at all. So I'm not necessarily going to base his play off of Cleveland this year, but also too like Joe Flacco is he is old. I mean, he's been getting old for like 6 years now. So is he like 40 or 41 years old? So something like that. I mean, I think Flacco maybe after this year will probably hang it up, to be honest with you. I don't see why he wouldn't. He's accomplished just about anything he can do, unless he wanted to be a backup to a Super Bowl contender or something, Cincinnati. I think he'll string out a few wins, like you said, with Cincinnati. I do think it is the better option for him. I really thought they were going to trade for a Jameis or something like that. I thought they traded way too much for Joe Flacco. I think a 5th or a 6th round pick for Flacco when your season, I think even still with him, as lost as it is. I think it's just desperation mode for Zach Taylor's job and stuff like that. So I think that's why they did that. I think Zach Taylor's about on his last ropes, which at the same time, I don't necessarily think it is all his fault. I think 2 out of the last 3 seasons, he hasn't had a starting quarterback. For one, he's in the stick with Jake Browning and now Joe Flacco. So is that really all his fault? I mean, last year, he was on the hot seat anyway. I mean, they had that slow start, which ended up killing him. I mean, they really heated up at the end of the season, but I mean, they haven't made the playoffs in a while, but Joe Burrow's injuries is not helping Zach Taylor's case, which isn't his fault necessarily. The Bengals are incredibly cheap. We know they have a history of being cheap as it is anyway. So, I wonder if the cheapness of Cincinnati is going to end up not having them fire Zach Taylor. They're going to be like, do we really want to pay another head coach a ton of money? So, look, them firing Zach Taylor to me, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess it does matter, but at the same time, it's like the Bengals are going to do what they're going to want to do. Like, no one can predict what that front office of the Bengals is going to do. They put like most of their salary in 3 players on offense with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow. I don't necessarily blame them for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, but I still think they should have taken that money that they spent on T. Higgins, invested it in the offensive line to get Joe Burrow some protection and stop having him getting hurt all the time. And I think that money on T. Higgins, like T. Higgins is a really good player, but that money could have been better spent somewhere else. Like I think you guys can agree with me there a little bit. But I think this Joe Flacco thing, they may end up stringing out a few more wins, but I just don't think the Bengals are going to make the playoffs with them still either way. If they do, that would be pretty incredible, to be honest with you. But I think Joe Flacco still has a lot of issues as well. I mean, he turns the ball over a good bit. You know he's going to be forcing it in to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, which is going to only create turnovers as well. So it's also going to create big plays, and I think he is better than Jake Browning is, but he has a lot of flaws too. He's going to be under a lot of pressure with that offensive line, and there's going to be some problems there in Cincy as well, even with him there. So I guess we'll see. Maybe string out a few more wins, but I still don't think Cincy's going to make the playoffs with him. Next question here. I just finished watching Happy Gilmore 2, and yes, I know I'm late to the party, but honestly, I thought it was really good and maybe even better than the first. Have you ever seen it before? Yes, Happy Gilmore is my favorite movie. The first one is my favorite movie of all time. I've probably watched it about 30 times, probably more than that. I don't know. I watched it a gazillion times. I used to, when Comcast had On Demand, I don't know if you guys remember that. I used to sit on there. I used to search for the movie, pay for the movie, permanently paid for it. And I just sit out here and watch it on my couch over and over and over again when I was younger. I ended up watching it not that long ago. I just go and click on it and I'll just watch it, to be honest with you. That's a movie I can watch just over and over again. I did end up watching Happy Gilmore 2 the day it did come out a few months ago. What date did that come out in August or September? I forget when that came out exactly. I know it was over the summer. But I remember I did watch it the day it came out on Netflix. One of the things with Happy Gilmore too, and it's like I'm glad you really like it because I don't know if they'll ever make a Happy Gilmore 3. I'd be curious at that point. They're all kind of getting old, to be honest with you. I've seen the cast like Shooter McGavin, um, or what Christopher McDonald and Adam Sandler. Like, even Adam Sandler's kind of getting old. You see the gray in his beard and all. If they're gonna pull off Happy Gilmore 3, it's gonna have to be sooner than later. I don't think they got time to wait for these guys to wait another 20, 30 years for this movie to come out again. Um, I'm glad if you do think if it was better than the first one. I do like the first one better than the second one, to be honest with you. I mean, it is my favorite movie ever, so it's gonna be hard to kind of shake that. But even regardless, I was trying to come into watching Happy Gilmore 2 when I did, and I was like, I was trying to not think about Happy Gilmore 1 and compare it. Like, I was like, let me just watch Happy Gilmore 2 like I've never watched the first one. And to be honest with you, I do still like the first one better. I did like the second one, to be honest with you. The only thing I did not like, and I don't like this with any movie at all. I think it's kind of tainted my view for some movies. I just do not like the corny ass CGI. Like, I just do not like that with the whole X Golf thing, or what was it again? I think it was X Golf or whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. I haven't watched the movie in a few months now, so some of that stuff has kind of slipped my mind. But the future of golf league or whatever the hell it was. Um, I just, dude, like between the way like had the courses and all the crazy stuff, like it looks so corny to me. I just do not like the way that looks in movies. And I don't blame them for the idea, but I don't know. Between the golf carts like shooting the flames out of the back and going like 100 miles an hour down the course, and just you have like all this crazy stuff on the course and all. I don't know. I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of that, to be honest with you. I love the idea, and I did like it, but I just don't like the way it looks. I just think it looks CGI looks so corny to me in movies. Not even just Happy Gilmore 2. Like, they're trying to make it look real, but it looks so unrealistic, and it just drives me nuts. I don't know. That's just like something that I just have a bone to pick with movies for some reason. I know I'm not the only one. I made sure to ask some friends about that as well. When I watched Happy Gilmore 2, I was like, what do you think of the CGI in these movies? And they went on like a full blown rant about it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I do like the movie though. It was a good movie. Um, but the cast was getting old, and I just don't. The first one is a classic. You had Chubbs. Um, I don't know, man. I love the first one. It's the most classic to me. It reminds me of my childhood, and I just think it was better overall. I mean, hell, the grandma, Happy Gilmore's grandma, she's been dead a long time. God, how long is she? I think she died in like 2011. I think that might even be pushing it. She died a long time ago. So a lot of those people have been like long gone in that movie. Like some of those people have, but I'm curious to see if they'll make a third one though. I don't know. Just what to find out. Last question I'm going to answer here today is Pats Nation, baby. Let's go. Just started watching your content the other day after your Mike Vrabel video on TikTok, and you're doing great. I have a simple thing to ask. Is Drake May really the guy, and are the Pats Super Bowl contenders this season? I'll keep the Drake May thing short. Yes, I do absolutely think Drake May is the guy for the New England Patriots. Just you've seen against the Bills game on Sunday night. Not only just that game, but a lot of people, I guess they don't necessarily watch Patriots games, and I don't blame them. The last few years, Patriots have been borderline unwatchable. I still watch every single game, but it was painful, especially last year when you watched Drake May with that awful, awful offensive line and the whole Gerard Mayo circus and all. Like, it was where this team, like I mentioned in that Mike Vrabel video, where this team has gotten within the last 9 months, the culture change Mike Vrabel has brought is really nothing short of just incredible. And that's one of the things, like, a lot of teams need a culture change. The coaches are getting older. The Ravens, like I'm gonna think of some other teams. Like the Dolphins as well. The Dolphins need a cult. Like, a lot of these teams need culture changes. Like, their coaches are just not good culture builders anymore. And Gerard Mayo just was not a good culture builder. There was a lot of rumors in the building of it being soft, and just didn't really get through to the players. And you could tell the players were only getting they were getting worse every single week. Like, the team was getting worse. It wasn't like, okay, you know what, they did end up winning the first week against the Bengals, and they almost won the second week against the Seahawks last year. I know we're talking a long time ago with Jacoby Brissett and all. That literally seems like a lifetime ago. The team is so different than what it was this time last year. It just continuously got worse and worse and worse after every single week. And that's why I don't necessarily blame them for the Rod Mayo firing. Some Patriots fans, I think it's very few at this point, are still pretty upset about the Rod Mayo hiring. A lot of people were kind of, all for it, to be honest with you. He wasn't a good culture builder. It just was not a very good head coach. I don't think he was very ready to be a head coach, to be honest with you. And Mike Vrabel, Hall of Famer in the organization. Rod Mayo was a great player in the organization as well, but Mike Vrabel, like, 3 Super Bowls with the Pats. I mean, he just franchise legend there as well. So he's not only just coaching the team to be a good coach and have a resume. Like, there's legitimate it is personal to him to make this team good for the New England Patriots, which is why I think this team has taken such a massive leap in terms of just being like one of the worst teams in the NFL to now, like, whether or not they're Super Bowl contenders, I think is still up in the air. I'd like to see them play, I'd like to see them play more of the season, especially this stretch they have. They had the Saints this week. They have the Saints, Titans, and Browns. Like, if they can go 3-0 here and really, like, kill these bad teams and show that, hey, like, we're kind of a top dog. But if they kind of sit here, they lose a couple games to these bad teams, kind of float around at 500, and I bet this team is not a Super Bowl contender. So I think these next few weeks will be telling for the Pats. They have a game against the Buccaneers later on in the season. I think that game will be telling as well. So obviously they play Buffalo again at some point later on throughout the season. That game will be telling as well. So again, I think Drake May is definitely the guy. Just in terms of all his attributes and the potential he brings to the team. He's a great leader for the team. Just a great guy in general. Absolutely, he's the guy. So far throughout the season, he's absolutely the guy the Pats have needed since Tom Brady to this point. So, then I think I'm going to give it a couple weeks before I really talk about the Patriots being Super Bowl contenders. I think let's take it one step at a time. Like, let's go. Like, can we make the playoffs first before we talk about Super Bowl contenders? Because I want to see if the Pats can just get back in the playoffs, and if they could string out some games here, and then I'd give you my take on that. So I'm going to give it a few weeks. Right now, I'd say in terms of playoff contenders, absolutely playoff contenders. And a pretty injury-riddled AFC. Bengals are out of it. No Burrow. Joe Flacco, I don't think is going to have them climb back in the playoff race. Baltimore is completely falling apart with all their injuries. Kansas City, I think, will end up making the playoffs, but that's not a guarantee, though. That could very well be up in the air still for Kansas City. They don't look as dominant. The Chargers falling off a cliff. They're starting to get some injuries. Their tackles, Hampton, Joe Wall, Rashawn Slater before the season, Najee Harris, like, they're starting to get some injuries as well. Justin Herbert isn't playing so great. Denver isn't quite as good as we thought so far, even though they did beat Philly. Looks like they still have some issues as well. So, yeah, man, I mean, this AFC is wide open for anyone to run away with it. So I think the playoffs, the Patriots are playoff contenders. Yes, I'm going to hold back on the Super Bowl contender part for at least a couple more weeks. So, yeah, man, good question there. That is it for today's Why Not Wednesday. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Some interesting questions between me answering between Taco Bell, Happy Gilmore, Russell Wilson, man. You guys are always coming through with the questions, man. I love answering any and every question you guys have for me here on the podcast. Again, if you guys want your questions answered right here on the pod, make sure to hit @TalkTheTown_pod on Instagram, TikTok. Again, right here, my YouTube comments under this video if you'd like, and have them answered right here next week on TalkTheTown_pod right here on the YouTube channel. So, yeah, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure to take it easy.